Hello, and welcome to My Left Ear. I'm Carrie Freeman, and this is my co-host, Petey. He's kind of hard to see, but I'll keep referring to him. Petey Freeman is my co-host, and he's sitting right next to me right now. This is a liberal YouTube channel, and it's called My Left Ear because I get messages through my left ear, and this is video 236. And we're going to get started. It's November 16th, Saturday. Last night was that full moon. Boy, was that bright. It was just shining into my apartment. It was great. You know, when I haven't done it yet because I'm just going to record this video right now. But I had this very strong inkling to put a title on it that says, do not like or subscribe. And I still may do it. And if I do, which I think I am, this is an experiment of looking fear in the face and kicking it, but also giving everybody who tunes in a little bit of a kick, because I don't think too many people that have YouTube channels put a title that says do not like or subscribe. I doubt it. But I thought, well, that'll get people's attention because we're all looking fear in the face right now. And we're in the fight or flight condition, all right? And I want to talk about that for a minute. I have a couple of runes that I'm reading for you. When any of us have loss, shock, sudden change, that's, dramatic, we go into the fight or flight response, whether we realize it or not. And it sort of shuts us down. And we don't even know that we're shut down. So like if we take a gigantic event like 9/11, everybody went into the fight or flight response, and certainly people in New York went into it seriously. And I can guarantee you that people stopped sleeping. They called their psychologists, their psychiatrists. There was probably a lot of prescriptions for Xanax and antidepressants, all kinds of sedatives, and it's shock. It's shock. And I think we're all in a bit of shock. And so I thought I would talk about that. Be aware, because it can affect sleep, it can affect mood, thought processes, bring on unwelcome feelings, be very short-tempered, impatient, and on and on. So I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wake up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wake up, because we've been stuck. Now, this fight or flight has been with us forever. And I'm going to go back to animals in the wild for a second. That, let's say, a gazelle, and they run really well, is running from a lion. The lion wants lunch, and it sees this gazelle, and it's like, takes off for the gazelle. And the gazelle knows it's in danger, and it drops down, and it plays dead. So the lion comes over, and the lion wants to do the kill, as gross as that sounds, but that's nature. And so the lion does not want the gazelle because it's just lying there as if it's deceased. And the lion goes off to find something else for lunch. And when the gazelle is safe, the gazelle gets up, reorients, and carries on with its day. Now, here's the difference between you and I and the gazelle. There's Petey. What's he doing? Let's see what he's doing. He's finding another place to curl up. The gazelle forgets. It forgets that it just almost lost its life. It forgets that it just ran from the lion. It just goes on. We don't forget. That's the difference. It stays with us unless we start doing like physical exercise and meditation, and we go to therapy, and we do all kinds of things for self-care to get out of the fight or flight response. So that's what I wanted to bring. Be aware. If you have, all I can use is myself, and that I've been devastated, which I expressed to you I think the day after the election, a week ago Wednesday. And I'm still devastated. I'm having a hard time getting past this. I'm just revealing that to you. And so it's taken me some just deep thought about how I want to present, what I want to present. And I'm not completely there yet, but I have enough to talk to you today to keep going. Right at this juncture, I'm not that inclined to make a lot of predictions. I went through maybe my last 4 shows, and I didn't watch them all. I wanted to read the comments because I want to make sure I had tried to answer, and I'm still working on video 234 because I had a lot of comments on that one. And I got to see all the predictions I made that were so positive. And frankly, I'm looking at them going, PTSD, I'm just horrified. So I'm recoiling a little bit, and I just want you to know that. And I haven't landed yet. But since I last came on, I did a little numerology. And I was like, whoa, this is significant. And I really want to share this with you. That the year 2025, numerology, and I'm not a numerologist, but I know a bit about it and I utilize it. It normally runs from a 1 year to a 9 year. Now there's 2 numbers in numerology that are special numbers. They never get added together. And I'm not going to deal with those numbers right now because they're not pertinent to what we're going to talk about. But those numbers are 11 and 22. They're called master numbers, but they don't come into my reading today. So I'll put master numbers to the side right now. So we're in a number 8 year, and that's a year where money's pretty good. So it makes sense that the economy, was good this year, and unemployment was down, and blah, blah, blah. Now 2025, we're going into a number 9 year, and that is a year of endings. But it's like it's wrapping up the cycle. And we make a lot of changes globally and personally in a number 9 year. I mean, it's really big. So I'm going to tell you a story, because I've been doing numerology for a long, long time. When I was working at the alcohol drug rehab facility in Malibu for, 8 years. While I was there, everybody got fired. I didn't get fired. And I ended up getting fired, but I lasted longer than most people because the man who owned it and ran it was just like Donald Trump. Swear to God. Even tall and blonde and Aryan with a crazy son. Just really weird parallels. So when Trump came on the scene, I was like, oh my God, I just worked for this guy for 8 years. So I'm there, and now it's like I'm in my 8th year, and I did my numerology, and I went, oh, I'm in a number 9 year. And I'm driving down Pacific Coast Highway thinking about this on my way to the rehab center to work. I think I work there like 4 days a week. And my left ear said, you're in a number 9 year. You're going to get fired. This job is not going to sustain because the boss I had, the Donald Trump guy, he was always cheating people, and people were always suing him. And he was always trying to cheat the therapists, which I was one of them. And I had started to protest because he was calling weekly meetings for us to come all the way to Malibu. Most of us didn't live in Malibu, and sit in a 2-hour meeting to talk about all the clients. But he didn't pay us. And I started to get really angry about it. And I said, I'm not going to come. I'm just going to tell him I have clients in the morning and I can't make it. And I knew that was probably a bad thing. And somebody else decided the same thing. And people started not coming because I didn't talk to anybody about it, but they started saying, oh, she's not coming. I don't think I have to come, and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, through advice of my left ear, I had a beautiful office. It looked like a little mini library, and it was, mahogany. I don't know how I got it, but it was great. And it even had double doors out to the outside. I took everything off the walls. I took all my decorations. I took all my little candle or tchotchkes and put them in a box in my car, and I left nothing in the office. It was me and my keys and my purse. And about 3 days after I cleaned out my office, I got a message. I'm just going to call him Trump. Mr. Trump, and we know it's not Trump, okay? It's somebody else. I just don't want to say their name. Wants to see you in his office when you're done with your last client. And I went, there it is. There it is. So I had to leave my office, drive to another part of the property to go up to the big office, the Oval Office at the rehab. And the human resources lady was sitting there, and some manager was sitting there, and I came in and sat down, and this obnoxious, awful dude said, I just want to let you know, and it was a Friday, I just want to let you know that we're not going to be working together anymore. I have found someone that I want to work with more than you. And the weird thing is that the guy that he hired to replace me had been one of my teachers in hypnotherapy school that I knew really pretty well. Nice guy. And I thought, oh, that guy is never going to work out here. But, I kept my mouth shut. And he said, so basically you're fired. I don't know if he said the word fired, but that was it. And then he sat back to take it in. And I said, okay. So he says to the human resources lady, go down to Carrie's office with her and help her box up everything in the office. And I said, that won't be necessary. I completely cleaned out my office the last 2 days. All I have are my purse and my keys. And the man jumped up. He didn't have a tube of ketchup, but he exploded. Get out of here. Get out of here right now. He was so mad that I did a little coup on him. I got one up on him, and he looked bad in front of the human resources lady and the other manager that was sitting there. And then I said, I think before I made him so angry, I said, so really, I said, I've been here 8 years, and I've taken really good care of all your clients. I get nothing but good reports. And I am alone. I have no husband. I have no family. And you're just going to send me out the door on a Friday without any kind of severance? Or do you think that's right? And he goes, okay, give her a check for 1 week. And I said, really? After 8 years, 1 week? Give her the 2 weeks. And then he made the thing like, go down to her office and help her clean it out. And that's when I hit him with, it's already cleaned out. I knew you were going to do this. So I got the money, and I left. And the other therapist who started not showing up to those meetings was let go on the same day, like about 2 hours after I was let go. So this is me. This is the kind of stuff I do. I went to Los Angeles business. I can't remember, but it was like Los Angeles Business Affairs and blah, 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 some official department. And we said, we want to bring charges against this company for crooked payments, not observing the laws, and blah, 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 blah. And the reason I did that is because they can't do anything when the state is involved. The state has the power to shut down a business. Now, a great attorney does not have that power. So we got him in a double bind. And I walked away with $20,000, and so did she. Just played the game. And in fact, had to go into a final negotiation. And I'm telling you, this man was evil. He was tough. He has passed away. And so I walked into that mediation with a really big banker's box filled to the top with papers and binders. And the rehab owners, lawyers, their eyes went, whoa, like, what has she got in that box? Anyway, that's my number 9 year. I was so certain. And when I hear about a number 9 year, then I know. So I will say, if Donald Trump expires next year, I will not be surprised. That would be typical of a number 9 year. If things just start to, crumble, because 9 is an ending, and then 1, which is 2026, when we'll go into midterms, that's a new beginning. And I couldn't help but think how interesting you might find this. Now, if you want, not today, but if you want, I will do a short tutorial about how you figure out your personal year, because we have a birth year, a number we're born under that never changes. We have a personal year, and then we have this 2025, 2026, blah, blah, blah. And I can show you how to compute it. And so let me know in the comments, yeah, I'd like to, if you want to take 15 minutes to do that, we'd love it. And we'll see. Because I am going to be doing things a little bit differently, and I'm shape-shifting that right now. So I happen to love numerology. And now here's just another interesting thing. My personal cycle, I'm going into a number 9 year. That's my personal year. And it's going into a number 9 year, if that makes sense. So I've got a double 9 coming up after January 1st, or beginning January 1st. And so I, without a doubt, know that I am up on some really big changes. Just don't know what they are yet. I have some thoughts, but I don't know what they are yet. So there's something coming up that's, whoa, big. But I don't feel like anything bad's going to happen to me. I'm just finishing up a cycle, and blah, blah, blah. So we can talk about that some more. You let me know your thoughts. If you're interested in knowing how to compute these, I can go through it with you. And I did do it a long time ago on Patreon. All right. So now I think this is something everybody's interested in. So I threw some runes. And I asked the runes, is Biden doing anything behind the scenes regarding this election? Is he connected with intel? Has he given any orders? Is he have any plans? That kind of thing. And I'm going to basically tell you, the runes did not give me the answers I wanted, but I must share them with you. So the first rune I got was the rune of possessions, which is very good, except I got it in the reverse. And it says, I edited these so it won't go on too long, but it says, there may be considerable frustrations in your life right now, from the trivial to the severe. I'm going to choose severe. You fall short of your efforts. You reach out and you miss. And you could find yourself watching your gains dwindle. And that would be the dissembling of everything that Joe Biden did that was great. Observe it in a Zen manner with the question, what do I need to learn? So that could be all of us, all the Democrats, what do we need to learn? Did we need to pay more attention to Elmer Fudd and Starlink? I don't have these answers, by the way. I just have the questions. So in this reverse position, we're being in touch with the shadow side of possessions. Doubtful situations are abundant and come in a variety of forms. But it does say, do know that this is all coming to be and then passing away. The situation is impermanent. That's the good news. We just don't know how much damage can be done. But here you have an opportunity to explore where your true nourishment in life resides, and that might be all of us. Well, then I got this question about Joe, and is anything going on behind? Is he doing anything? I got the rune of joy reversed. So that's the second one I got in reverse. And it does tell us things are slow coming to fruition. The process of birth is long and arduous, and during which fears can arise. What will happen? Will we have a government left? Will there be anybody viable left in the government? It says to us, seek tranquility, clarity, patience, sincerity, and even emptiness for a time. And I have something about emptiness at the end of this. Everything is a test and a learning opportunity. Practice mindfulness, as things always autocorrect. So you want to make sure you hear the good things I'm saying, not just the scary things, all right? And then finally, to top this off, I just kind of couldn't believe it, but it just shows that the runes were really listening and responding. I got standstill. And standstill, if you've heard me enough, it's really not the greatest rune. It's like a sphere like that's just standing on its own. It's very cold. It represents the property of ice. And it says the winter of your spiritual life is upon you. And it's not upon Joe Biden directly. It's the result of all of this. And it's the result of, is he behind the scenes doing anything? Talking to Intel. And it says, you may find yourself entangled in a situation to whose implications you are, in effect, blind. You may feel powerless to do anything except submit, surrender, and even sacrifice a long-cherished desire. Be patient, for this is a period of gestation before rebirth in 2026. Positive accomplishment is unlikely right now. There is a freeze on useful activity. Your plans are on hold. You may have to submit. And I just want you to know, I, Carrie, have no pleasure sharing this with you. It tells us to prepare, be ready for when the ice melts, because more will be revealed, and we might get some of these hardcore answers we're looking for, like what really happened. Let me see. Submit and be still. What has been full must be empty. And trust your own process until the spring comes. All right, so that was that one. Then I asked, because one of you subscribers, and that number is going down, but one of you subscribers asked me about this new chief of staff for Trump. Susie Wiles, because she was his campaign manager. And somehow she didn't leave the job. She's described by the New York Times as unassuming, but a significant presence for Trump, effective, and an operator. So here's weird. I got opposite types of runes for this question. So I get the rune of partnership, which is really a good rune. And partnership is like a big X, and there's no reverse on it. So please don't get sick when I share this with you. It should be noted that one of the modern nicknames for partnership is the love rune. So he allegedly won the election, and he's made her his chief of staff. So they're having a little, love affair that's not physical. Indication that some form of partnership is at hand, but there's a caution. Don't get too close. Don't collapse into that union like you're the new, political couple of the, and of course, I mean none of that sexually. They have to stay separate. And that this rune warns us that this is about separate and whole beings who maintain their separateness. It is the rune of generosity and giving. But I highlighted something that I read. Our ancestors often gave gifts in exchange for partnership. And I went, well, that's transactional, right? And we know that Trump is 100% transactional. So I just want to share that. This thing with he and Miles, transactional. He's getting something out of it. She's getting something out of it. It won't last the whole term. Did I ask about the year? Will it last 1 year? I actually think it might, based on what I'm getting here. So then the next rune I got was possessions, which is really good. It's a rune of fulfillment, ambition satisfied, rewards received. It's related to physical possessions. They're going to move into the White House. And it says, enjoy the rewards. I'm looking. It portends a time of good fortune and positive energy. It challenges you to meet the moment. They are going to have complications. They are going to have holdups. And like I said in last week or the week before, that fighting a cold, I'm sorry, that some GOP are going to fight him. All right. I didn't bring water, and I don't want to get up and get water. The next one is fertility, new beginnings. Trump is having new beginnings. All right, I'm gonna go get water. Because I very much want to finish this. So let me sip some water. And I just dribbled some on my face. What do you think of that, Pete? And then my eyes are watering. I said to myself, should I do this today? Oh boy. So I'm going to shorten it. But fertility is the third rune. And they're going to learn some lessons, and he's not going to get everything he wants. But in terms of Susie Wiles, they're going to start off with kind of a romance, because he sees her as someone who helped him win. Now I'm going to shorten this also. I had written, I guess maybe the day I came on, and I was so blown away after the election, and I talked about the midterms because I thought that was a little bit hopeful. And if you've been with me for a while, I try to find these nuggets of hope in the middle of all of it. And evidently a lot of you appreciate it because you tell me there's something positive about your videos. So I got some blowback, and people said things like, I can't even think about the midterms right now. Like, it was a little bit like, what are you doing, Carrie? But, and I thought, well, God, maybe that was too premature. But the next day, I go on Twitter and I see a post by Stuart Stevens. And I was going to give you a whole bio on Stuart Stevens, but he's written like 8 to 12 books. He was a Republican, and he now is an advisor at the Lincoln Project. It's okay, I got through that. And he's working on his next novel. He posted on Twitter the next day. This is what he wrote. The midterms start after the Super Bowl. It will likely be a good election for Democrats. And then the 2028 presidential race will be upon us. After a loss, the days seem long, but the months will pass quickly. He's talking about right now. Reflect, rest up, come back prepared to fight. Fight not because victory is assured, but fight because not to fight is to give up. And if we do that, we no longer deserve to call ourselves Americans. So he says, fight. So I'm kind of, defending myself, but I wasn't off base by talking about the midterms. So right now, I'm avoiding watching or listening to Trump or any of them. I can't stomach it right now. So I'm turning them off like a light switch. And by the way, that's a song from Book of Mormon, one of the greatest musicals I've ever seen. And it's like, if it doesn't feel good, just turn it off like a light switch. It's a great number. So I am going to find all the up-to-date news without listening to or watching a mentally ill, psychopath, sadist, felon, pedophile who has dementia. No, I'm not watching him or listening to. Hard no. And I don't know if you'll relate to this, but to do so feels like I'm abusing my inner child. And there's no reason for any of us to take on more abuse. So I want to say, protect yourself. You can find out what's going on without even, I even turned off Rachel. So I am detoxing and I'm moving away from previous behaviors. So I'm finding my way also. And that's my little spiel on that. And then the other thing, oh no. All right, there's a reason for everything. There was something I was going to paste in here to share with you, but I didn't do it. But I'll just talk it through for a moment since I'm having trouble anyway. I've been thinking about, there must be something horrible in our educational system that so many people are stupid, that they don't read, they don't investigate. And, there were a lot of people that looked up what are tariffs after Trump won. They didn't make it their business to learn this stuff in order to vote. And all I can think of is education. And I thought of the great Stephen Sondheim, who wrote a song called Children Will Listen. And it's from his musical Into the Woods. And children will listen. And I don't know what they're teaching because I don't have children or grandchildren, but I got social studies. I got sociology. I got government, history, debate. I don't know what's happening. a long time ago, and this is something I also shared a long time ago on Patreon, that there's an author and a life coach named Martha Beck. And Martha used to be on the Oprah show a lot. She's super down to earth. I actually went to a seminar with her and met her, and she was amazing because she was so regular. But she wrote an article that I loved a long time ago about the stages of becoming a butterfly. And this article is beautiful. I think I'll try to find it and put it into a document. I'm not sure how you would get it. Let me think about it. But there's 4 stages. 4 stages. And the first stage is like losing your form. It's like kind of becoming larva and not knowing what you're going to become. And that's what I'm in right now. I'm in the reforming stage before I take another form. I'm so frustrated that I did not paste this. I'm going to hit paste right now just to see if it pops up. That was just me trying to get all this done today. One more second. Let's just see. Oh my goodness, I did it. Okay. Phase 1 is dissolving. I was wrong. It's dissolving. And she says the first phase is the scariest. This is going to take the place of a quote. Especially because we aren't taught to expect it. It's when we lose our identity and are left formless. That's how I feel right now, formless. Sometimes it's just a blip. And at others, it runs into this complete dissolving experience. And she said, she's very positive. She says, you'll get through it. You won't have a choice. It's scary. Many so-called primitive cultures have rituals designed to teach the art of dissolution. They obscure faces with paint or ash, take names away, are sent to spend time in the wilderness. Isn't that fascinating? But we don't have these traditions here. So when we're dissolving, we get hysterical, we fight our feelings, we try to recapture our former selves or lives, and we jump immediately into something new or the status quo. But those measures, those panic measures, actually slow down the process of dissolving. And so she has advice, and we're coming to an end here. Live for 1 day or 10 minutes at a time. Focus on the now. Cocoon by caring for yourself in physical and immediate ways. Talk to others who've metamorphosized, like a wise friend, relative, therapist. And let yourself grieve. Cycle through denial, anger, sadness, acceptance many times if you need to. Dissolving, she says, isn't something you do. It's something that happens to you. And so this is something that happened to you and me. And trust the process. But the other 3 stages are wonderful, and I want to share them with you, but I'm sharing with you the most difficult one. And I will tell you, I feel like I'm dissolving right now. That's why I had to take a week and just kind of get myself up to making the video. So that's that for today. I actually don't have a good evidence story. I was supposed to have a really cool business meeting yesterday, canceled. So I went, okay, I'm just gonna accept that. You know, don't fight the, don't push the river if it's going in a certain direction. But it's been challenging. So anyway, thanks for hanging in with me. I hope you found something interesting here, and let me know if you want to see more of Martha Beck's article, and I'll find a way to post it. Okay? Okay. Now let's see what Petey has to say, because I know everybody wants Petey. Petey boy. Okay, I'm gonna turn him around like I do sometimes. He just lets me do it. Pete, everybody wants to say hi to you. There you go, sweetie. You know what? He likes this right under here. Oh boy, oh boy. That's the spot he just loves. We get it with a brush every day too. Okay, Pete. And you know, I paid him the other day for the sick day. One of my viewers said, well, doesn't he deserve a sick day? And I thought, yeah, you know what? He deserves a sick day. So I paid him. So you don't worry. He is not being mistreated. As you can tell, he's pretty happy. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Because of this cold, I had prepared a Patreon, but I don't think I'm going to try to do it today because of this voice. You saw I almost couldn't get through this. But I'll be back in the next 2 days with the Patreon. And we'll keep going. We'll keep going. I just couldn't bounce back like some people and just start business as usual. I was like, okay, I got to go with my own, intuition here. All right. Love you. Thank you. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.